Okay, so in this session, we are going to discuss about the scheduler. So first of all, scheduler is nothing but the service to schedule a jobs. Okay, so scheduler is nothing but the service only. Service is nothing but the OSGi service. So OSGi will discuss in future, but consider this one is nothing but the service only. And if you want to schedule a jobs to a particular time or the interval level of time, then you can simply go with the scheduler. Okay, so here they have mentioned it. We have mentioned it. If you want some work to happen at particular time or the regular interval of time, then you can simply go with the scheduler. Okay, here is another definition. A scheduler in AEM is nothing but the service that schedules jobs. So like consider I'll give you one scenario. Okay, your friend birthday is there in maybe a 26th June. Okay, 26th June he has his birthday. Okay, and in this midnight, maybe in the 2 o'clock, and after that 54 seconds. Okay, 26th date, 2 o'clock, and after that here we have a 54 seconds. Okay, in that inside, that means when this date will arrive, that means the date will come, that time we'll just simply have to execute. Yeah, simply happy birthday. So this is the message. So this is what is this? This is nothing but your task. You want to execute this task in this particular date. So for that we need some API to execute this one. We need something to execute this. Okay. So for that we have a scheduler. Simple. We have a scheduler to execute this task. Okay. So we have two ways to create a scheduler. You can create it by using a scheduler API or the whiteboard pattern. You can create the scheduler API by using a scheduler APIs or the whiteboard pattern. But mostly we'll avoid this whiteboard pattern because that Apache Felix API is now deprecated, and this is provided this Apache Felix only. Here we have sorry, Apache Felix we have. This is Apache Felix. Now it has deprecated, and this whiteboard pattern it has present there only. Okay, it has present there. But what your scheduler actually does, so it will schedule the time and as well as cron based jobs. Okay, so I'm telling like it will schedules your expression. It may be in your star or in maybe your hash or in double quotes or 000. So this is nothing but your expression. So your scheduler will execute this one. Okay, your scheduler will execute the date format as well. So as we have discussed happy birthday, so this is the message we'll discuss on this particular date. If you want to execute the scheduler now, then now method they have provided. Okay, so that we discuss now. So first of all, it will schedule a time-based jobs and the cron-based job as well. Cron-based is nothing but these expressions. Okay. After that, it will execute the jobs. Job is nothing but your task. So this one is our task, and if you want to execute, it will execute. Okay. It will trigger an activity for a particular jobs. That means it will triggers. It will execute some activity for particular jobs or for particular event, or you can say for the workflow as well. Okay, and as well as it will schedule other services and the jobs as well. So let it be. This is the whiteboard pattern. but we'll avoid, we will not create the by using a whiteboard pattern. So simply, see, we can create a whiteboard pattern as well. So for that, we'll use this API. This is the API we use. This is the package we use for creating a whiteboard pattern. Okay, and runnable is a common for creating a scheduler. You can use this runnable. Okay, and I have already discussed. You have a two ways to create a scheduler. So first one is a scheduler API, second one is a whiteboard pattern. So in this session, we are discussing about scheduler API. So they have provided the scheduler APIs. Okay, scheduler API they have provided this one. This is nothing but your scheduler API. But I have already discussed you. This scheduler API is nothing but your service only. Okay, and whenever you want to call this service in your see except sling model, except sling model. Okay, except Sling model, everything is a OSGi service. Everything, every backend code is nothing but the OSGi service only. Okay, so we can say this scheduler is also a OSGi service. And if you want to call, this is my service, and I just want to call another service. So for that we have to use one annotation, that is @reference. Simply, if you want to call any service, then you have to use @reference. But in a Sling model, if I want to call the service, then we have to use OSGi service. OSGi service annotation we have to use. Got it? Yeah. So your scheduler API is created using a scheduler interface. Okay, in this scheduler, so we can get this scheduler by using this @reference. Okay, that's nice. Now we'll discuss about this scheduler API or this scheduler service. So first of all, this is the service, it will present inside this package. Inside this package, your scheduler will store. This service will store. That is org apache sling.commons.scheduler. Okay, and basically this scheduler is responsible to schedule the time or the cron based jobs. So it will schedule the time and as well as the cron based jobs. Okay, job you can say it's nothing but the object, and that is executed or the fire by this scheduler. Okay, so it's just simple, we have one job, or job is nothing but your task it's maybe your job object. Okay, so this one if scheduled or the executed by the scheduler interface. Got it? Now the thing is, you can create the scheduler, you can create the object of the scheduler using a job interface, otherwise by using a runnable interface. Okay, you can create using a job interface or the runnable. It has some drawback inside this runnable, that's why we create using a job interface. Okay, but in this session we'll discuss about runnable. Okay, that's nice. Now you can come here. Now inside this scheduler service we have a methods, we have some method. First one is a add method. This is nothing but your at method. So what it exactly it does, so it will schedule your job or the object based on date. So you have to mention the date here. Inside that you have to mention the date and we will schedule our job. After that, here we have a same method we have but different parameter. This time if you want to schedule some object or the task based on particular date with hours, that means hours it may be a 6, and after that second, so you can simply use this at method. Otherwise particular date if you want to execute, then directly you can use this. This is the expression. If you have any cron based expression, then you can simply use this expression method. Okay, but all this method where it is present, scheduler. So we need the scheduler, then we can able to call these methods. Okay, after that here we have a now. Okay, now we have, that means now you have scheduled your object in this date. Okay, but it is executing. If you want to check it, it's executing or now, it's executing or not, then you can simply execute this scheduler now. Okay, so here it will execute only once, but now you want to execute more than once. Now three times you want to execute, three times you want to execute this scheduler, then you can simply use here three times I want to execute, and after 5 seconds, after the 5 seconds I want to execute three times. don't speak anyone, I'm live, okay? Yeah. So now here, now I want to execute. This is the job or the task I want to execute more than three times, or three times I want to execute. So same method we have to use, but here we have to mention how many times you want to execute and after how many seconds. So I want to execute three times. First one it will execute, and after that it will wait for 5 seconds. After that again it will execute, and again it will wait for the 5 seconds, and third time also it will execute and it will wait for the 5 seconds, then it will stop. This is the main thing. This one is a main. See, in this case what we are doing, we are just simply scheduling, but we are not executing. We are just simply scheduling our scheduler, that means our task or the job, to this particular date or the second, or through the expression we are setting, but we haven't executed till. So for executing, we have to use this schedule method. This is the method we have to use if you want to schedule or execute your scheduler. Simple. And inside this method, it will accept two things: job and the schedule options. So it will accept job and the schedule option. Two object it will accept. So in that object, it is saying, like, consider this is the schedule method, and inside this schedule method it is saying what you want to execute and when you want to execute. When, that means here we have already created at what time we want to execute. Here only we have defining, is it? And all the things, all the method, it has returning the object of schedule options. Then you can simply mention at this particular time I want to execute. Okay, because once you will set, you will get the object of schedule option, you can mention here. And what you want to execute. Okay, so this is the happy birthday something we have to execute it. Okay, this is our task. So this task you have to mention somewhere. I'll tell you where we have to mention this task, and after that you just simply have to call here. Okay, and the last you have schedule it, but you want to unschedule, then you can simply use this unschedule options. Here it will accept the name, it will accept the scheduler name. Okay, now it's time to see the schedule options. See, every method here it has returning the schedule option. So what actually meaning of the schedule option? So simply it will provide the extra information to your scheduler. To this particular scheduler, it provides the extra information. Just simply, now here it is saying like you have to mention the scheduler name in this unscheduler method, but we don't have any method to schedule the name. So here we have a schedule option, so it provides the method. So by using this method you can schedule the name. After that, now I want to pass some extra information with this task. I just simply want to pass some extra information to this particular scheduler. Okay, so how we can set the extra information? By using this config in the key value form. In the hash map is nothing but the key value form only. Okay, so inside this key value form, you can create one hash map object, and after that you can store the key value forms, and after that this is the object. You can just simply pass inside this config. Why? Because of it is accepting the hash map only, map interface. Okay, so this is the additional information. And here we have a name, you can set it, and can run concurrent. Can run concurrent, that means, so this is the job. Okay, this one is your job. Okay, this is nothing but the job. You can say it's a job, or you can say it's an object, or you can say this is nothing but your task. Okay, and here we have a lot of schedulers who is gonna schedule the, so scheduler 1, and we can say it's a scheduler 2. Both are trying to access this job. So how it will accept? When you will give here flag true. Okay, if you want to execute your job simultaneously or concurrently, then you have to mention here can run concurrently true, then only your job will execute concurrently or the simultaneously. Got it? Come here. Now I'm creating, but before creating we have to create the OSGi configurations. OSGi configuration. Now why I'm creating the OSGi configurations? Simply here we have a sling. Consider this is our sling model example. Directly here I'm passing the values. Directly I'm here I'm passing the values, but when we will create the website or some project, it's not a good thing to provide the value hardcore. Directly we cannot define like this. Like this we cannot pass the value like this, because this is not a good way. Directly we are hardcoring here. This is not a good. So instead of OSGi have provided OSGi have provided the OSGi configuration. We have to create the OSGi configuration, and there you can pass the information. And after that, in future, we will not give the permission to a developer to open that particular OSGi configuration. Okay. So how we can create? Now I'm just simply creating inside this scheduler only. How we can create the OSGi configuration? So simply right click here. Yes. Right click new, and in this case we have to create the annotations. We have to create the annotation. So OSGi configuration is nothing but the annotations only. OSGi service configuration. Let's see if it did that. Yes. So this is the OSGi configuration it has created, but this is your just simple annotations. This is nothing but the annotation. But now I have to convert this just simple annotation into an OSGi configuration. So how I can create? So for that you just simply have to use. Okay. So here we have to use one annotation, that is object class definition. Object class definition we have to use, and inside that you can give the name of your particular OSGi configuration. You can give the name of your OSGi configuration. So here I'm just simply giving name and search software configuration. That's it. If you want to give the description, you can give it comma, and you can just mention the descriptions. Okay, description. Okay, but how it will look like when I will create this OSGi configuration? How it will look like, and where exactly it will store? So firstly, we have to come here. Yes, localhost system console, and you will see OSGi config manager. Simple config mgr. You can hit enter. Otherwise, if you don't want to directly hit the path, then you have to go inside the bundles. Okay. So this is nothing but your OSGi configurations. Okay. Otherwise, you can just simply do one thing. Open your bundle. So for opening this bundle, we have to type system console bundles. Now you can hit enter. After that, in the left hand side, you will see the options of the OSGi, and here you can click and open the OSGi configurations. Open anyone. So here I am just clicking it, and after that you will see this is nothing but your OSGi configurations. Okay, so here is the name of the configurations, and after that here we have a description. The same thing I have defined there, name, and here we have a descriptions. Okay, after that here in the left hand side on our, this is nothing but your field label. This is nothing but your field label, and after that here we have a data types. So this is nothing but your boolean. True and false is nothing but the boolean, and here we have a description for this field label. Again the same thing, here we have a number field, it's nothing but the integer, you can say. This is the field label for the second field, and here we have a description, and in this case we have a drop down here, and in the left hand side here we have a name. Okay, now you can try to create it. Come down. Okay, but we cannot create the field directly. For creating a field, this types of field, if you want to create it, you have to define the name. You have to define one annotation. We have to define that annotation, that is attribute definitions. This is the attribute definition we have. You can import it, and after that you can mention the name. First name, so I'm just mentioning here service name. Later that you can mention the description, enter service name, and after that at the last we have to define the type. So in this case service name, it may be in the string format. Okay, so what we need a string. Okay, we need a string, so we have to take the string. Constant, we constant we have one constant we have where it is. Oh, I haven't used this. Let it be. It's not present here. Okay, I knows that what we have to use. Okay. Okay, so this is the attribute type. All your wrapper classes is stored inside this attribute type only. Okay, so now in this case what we need a string. So you can firstly you can import this one, and after that you can mention here string. That's it. Okay, so still it is throwing error. Why? Because you cannot call directly. See what we are doing, we are just simply defining the values here. We are defining the values. User will write the value and it will store in particular variable. Is it? You cannot call directly to this method. Okay, it's very complicated. So instead of that, this attribute will return one value, it will return. So we have to store this value in some methods. So public, so which data type it is returning? String. So, and this is the part of the Java. Okay, this is the part of the Java. Now how we can define in the Java? String. And inside this constant, inside this class, we have stored this wrapper string. Okay, so this one and that one is different. Now you can mention here service name. Service name, you can mention it. After that I just want to I want to define one name of the service. So I have defined the name of the service here. Now we have to import it. That's all. That's all. The same thing. Now I need, so all the information we are passing from here only. Attribute definition, and again we have to define the name. This time I'm taking can run concurrent. Can run concurrent. Descriptions. Select the checkbox. And at the last we have to define the type. And type, it may be a attribute type dot, it may be boolean. Here we have to define a boolean. Why? Because we are just, yeah, we are just asking like can run concurrent, so it will select true, otherwise false. Okay, and here we have mentioned the boolean, so we have to define the boolean here as well. Boolean, and after that you can mention here can run concurrent. Okay, now you want to execute your scheduler using a cron based job, so you can define here at the rate attribute definition name, you can mention name. That's nice. At the last we have to define the type, and type, it should be a string. It should be a string, so attribute type dot string. Public string, string, and after that we have to define cron expression, and here I'm passing the default value. Okay, so this is the default cron expression I'm passing, so there is no need to write the information, but when some user will write the information, it will automatically overwrite. So I'm just going on the internet, and you can just simply type here cron expressions, so it helpful for generating the cron expressions. You can go anywhere. So I want to execute every 5 minutes, it will execute. Okay, every 5 minutes it will execute, where I can enter. Okay, let it be. I don't want this. Yeah, here we have a cron maker. You can go there. In this cron maker, now I want to execute every 1 minute. So this is the scheduler. I want to execute every after every 1 minute. Then you can generate the cron expression. Now in the down hand side, you will see the cron format. So this is the format we have to copy. Copy, simply go there and just paste it. See, so in the scheduler, I am just simply using this config manager. Okay, this is the OSGi configuration I'm using. So why I'm using here is because here already I have passed the values, and this is the value we are using there. Why it's throwing error here? Here I have to pass the default value, and it should be a true. Okay, and the last one, you can enable the scheduler. Enable the scheduler. Description we don't need. Let it be. Nice. Okay, so we have created this. That's it. After that, now I'm going to create one scheduler. This is the scheduler I have created. Now all the information where I have passed inside this OSGi service configuration. So we have to call this OSGi service configuration in this our scheduler. Okay, so how we can do that things? But before that, we have to understand our scheduler is nothing but the service. Okay, which service? OSGi service. So for that, and how we represent the OSGi by using a @component. So we have to use this one. But now you can listen the life cycle of the OSGi service. But your OSGi configuration, it won't create the sorry your OSGi framework won't create the object for this Sling scheduler example. So for that we have to use one parameter or one attribute, that is service. And here I'm simply using here runnable dot class. Why? Because of this is the scheduler. Now I'm going to create by using a runnable interface. Implements runnable interface. How it will import? We have one method, that is run. Okay, and inside this run method only we have to define our job, our object or task. Whatever task you want to perform it, you can simply define inside this run method only. So that's it. And we know that now we are executing the work, we are executing this scheduler by using a scheduler API. So for that we need a, yeah, we have to take this scheduler API we have to take. Now you can simply define like this. And here this is the scheduler API, it has present inside this package. So make sure that this is the package you are selecting. Done. Now I'm just defining the name. One name is defining for the scheduler. This is the scheduler name, and just define as a public or the private. Okay, so if you are defining the method, if you are trying to defining here method, so method won't execute. So for that we have to use the annotations only, and these are annotation will execute automatically. So here I am defining now activate. So when your bundle will activate, that time whatever method you are going to define here, this method will execute. When this method will execute, when you will deploy, and after the deploy your bundle will activate, that time this method also execute. Okay, and inside this method only I am writing a logic. So which logic I am writing now? You can just simply call this method, that is add scheduler. You can just simply add the scheduler. Okay, so yeah, that's okay. This method is not defined, so that's why it's throwing error. But now we need this configuration. So this is the configuration I need. Now I'm going to perform some operation. So for that I need the values. So how I can get this? Simply, if you want to get this one, then you have to use one annotation, that is design it. This is the annotation we have to use. If you want to call the OSGi configuration in service, then you have to use this annotation. And this OCD is nothing but the object class definition. Okay, import this. And what is the name? What is the name? Copy this, come here, and simply paste here. Dot class. That's it. That's it. Okay. Now we know that all our data, it has present inside this method only. You can create the object for this config, and the same object you can pass here. That's it. Now I'm going to create this method. This is the method now I'm going to create. So how we can create this method? Public void add scheduler. Okay, OSGi config, and here I'm also defining the config, because inside this only I'm writing. Inside this only now I'm creating, or I'm using the methods of this OSGi service configuration. So come here. Now the first thing, now I have to get the name I want to get. So how I can get the name? Simple. We know that config dot name we have. There we have a name property, service name. I got the name. Okay, but here I have defined in the form of integer. This is the, here I simply want to store, here only I want to store, but it's not possible. Why? Because the service name is returning the string and we are storing the string into a integer. Is it possible? Yeah. So that's why we have to convert this one. That's nice. Hey, how we can convert into a string, man? How? Like this is already a string, no? This is the string we have to convert into an integer, into an hash code. For what? It will give us a better performance or it will execute fastly. So that's why we are converting into an integer. Okay. Now, second thing, second thing, we'll got this. Okay. Now we have to take the expression, that cron expression we have to take. How we can take that cron expression now? Cron expression, how I can take it? So simply we have to define the config and cron expression somewhere is there, and inside that only, okay, this is the, oh, it's not like, it's not like, it's not like, okay. So we have a scheduler, and inside this scheduler we know that we have a expression method, we have a expression method. Now inside this I have to add the expression. Okay, we can hard code, there is a one way, but this is not a good. We have already created the OSGi configuration. You can simply call here. Now you can say what we need, expression, no, cron expression. That's it, we got it. Okay, but this is the expression, this is the expression, it will return the object of scheduler option. So we have to accept schedule option, it will return schedule option. Okay, schedule options it has written. Now after that, that's okay. Now at the end you can schedule the name. So if you want to schedule, we have, there is a one way to schedule the name. Okay, otherwise you can simply use config dot name of the scheduler. Name of the scheduler we have, and here we have a so, that means so, and we have one name method, and inside that you can simply pass the scheduler name. Simply you can pass this. See, you got this scheduler options again. So this is the method. So this name method it has present inside your scheduler options only. Okay, but this is not a good way. You can remove this. We'll define somewhere else. Now our scheduler is done. Now at the last we have to execute, but we simply have defined here. Okay, we have only defined, we haven't executed. For executing, what we have to do? For execution, what we have to do? So simply so, sorry, scheduler dot schedule, one method we have, no, through that method only we can schedule the job. Okay, so in the first thing we have to pass like what you want to execute. So I want to execute this run method. This is the run method. Inside that whatever I will write, so this is the data I want to execute. So directly if you want to call this method, you can simply use here this, that's it. And after that, here this is nothing but the so, schedule options. This is nothing but the so, this is the schedule option, and all the data it has present inside our schedule options only. We have scheduled it, and up this method won't execute directly. So if you want to execute this method, you have to go in the activate and you have to pass. But if this scheduler is enabled, then only we can execute, then only we can call. So we'll say like config dot enable, we have no, if it is enable, then you can go there and execute this. Otherwise we'll say some of the error will throw, some error will throw here. Okay, we'll use system.out.println, system.out.println, and we'll simply mention here it's not enable. Okay, but this is the boring way. So where it will print this data? This data will print to your console. We don't want. AEM has provided one special debugger, that is log. Log file they have provided. You can directly print the data in a log file. So how we can print? So for that, if you want to print in your log file, where is the log file present? First of all, we need to know where is the log file. So your log file will present inside your AEM. So this is my AEM. Inside this AEM, you will see your author instance. Here we have a CRX quick start, and inside that here we have a logs. Okay, and here we have a lot of log files. So this is the parent. This error.log is nothing but the parent log file. Error.log is nothing but parent log file. When you will create one API, automatically all your data or your messages will store inside this error.log. If you want, you can create your own. Okay, so how we can write this one? See, we have one API. Okay, one class we have. When we will define this class, it will automatically store inside this error.log. So here we have a logger factory dot get logger, and you can mention which class you want to print there. This is the class, and you can just simply mention here class. That's nice. After that, here I'm mentioning private static final, and I'm just simply creating logger, and here I'm creating a variable for it. Make sure that we have to take this logger. Okay, this is the thing we have to take next, and after that here we have a this is the package we have. Just simply finish. Now it's done. Now we have to use this logger. Log dot info I'm printing now. Error. This is error. That's nice. Here again I'm saying this is the information I'm printing. Which one is our scheduler? This is our scheduler now. Executed successfully. Yes. And another thing, if you want to deactivate, how we can deactivate? So for that, you have to define one method, that is deactive. Public void deactivate. Okay, the same. Paste it, and after that here we have to define the config. Hit enter. Now come here, and we know that for deactivating we have one method, that is scheduler. We have one variable, that is scheduler, and you can just simply, where is the scheduler by the way? Yeah, this is the scheduler we have, no? Scheduler, and you can just simply deactivate. Unschedule. Unschedule option we have, you can just simply unschedule it. But here it will ask for the string, and we have an integer. We have here the name of the scheduler is in integer form. Sorry, we have in an integer form, but we need a string. So how we can get it? How we can do that things? Yeah. Yes. Scheduler. Scheduler name, no? Scheduler name. Hey, how we can get it, man? How we can do that things? Unscheduled. Here I need. Here if I need this one, we already have the config name dot get the name service name. Okay. and simply we got the name directly. We got the name directly here because in the OSGi configuration we have this service name. That's okay. But here another service name we have defined here. See, this is the integer we have defined. You can remove this. Otherwise, how we can convert this scheduler name? This is the scheduler name is an integer. Okay, so this is the scheduler we have to convert integer to string. Integer to string we have to convert. So scheduler name we have, this scheduler name have an index of, and in this index of, not really, we have to define this scheduler name. This is the scheduler name we have to define there. Oh, let it be. Whatever we want, we got it. That's it. Now this is the deactivate method we have to call. So how we can call? Use firstly deactivate annotation, public void deactivate one, or you instead of that you can just simply write destroy, and here only we have to call this deactivate. Copy this, copy this guy, come here and just simply paste it, and after that here we have to define config and deploy it. That's nice. Now everything is okay. We just simply have to come here, we have to check, we have get this service name we have converted into a scheduler name. Okay, scheduler name, there is no need of this line. That's okay. Scheduler node, that we have defined the cron expressions as well. Okay, we have copied the cron expression. We have, this is the cron expression we have copied, but we haven't pasted, I think so. Pasted. Okay, come adopt, yeah, here we have pasted, huh? That's nice. Now directly we can run. Where is our project? This one, search project. Here we have a core. Okay, okay. Maven clean install p auto install bundle. It's deployed successful. So yeah, every 1 minute later it will execute now. So where is our AEM? We have to go there, author, and we have a CR quick start, logs, and here we have a error.log. It's loading. It's loaded. Copy this. Come here. Control F. Try to paste it. Yeah, buddy. I think so. We have to wait. Is anything wrong in our code? Log.info sling scheduler example executed successfully. Destroy. Call it. There we have call it. In the enable we have given true, no? Okay, so first of all we have to check our OSGi configuration is created or not. So this is our OSGi configuration. Copy this. Come in the Chrome. This is our OSGi configurations. Control F. Yeah, it's not created. Sorry. The name we have given in the OSGi configuration where it is. Yeah, this is the name we have given. We have to copy this. Come here and try to search. Yeah, our OSGi configuration is correct. In the enable we have given true, that means right. Okay, run configuration, don't give true. That's okay. This is the practice our name. Save the changes. Save the changes. Now you can remove this. Register the service, but it's not called. It's modifying, but it's not showing over. Wait a minute, buddy.